It is only when the mind, which has taken shelter behind the walls of self-protection, frees itself from its own creations, that there can be that reality. After all, these walls of self-protection are the creations of mind which, conscious of its insufficiency, build these walls of protection and behind them take shelter. One has to build up these barriers consciously or unconsciously, and one's mind is so crippled, bound, held that action brings greater conflict, further disturbances. So, the mere search for the solution of your problems is not going to free the mind from creating further problems. As long as this center of self-protectiveness, born of insufficiency, exists, there must be disturbances, tremendous sorrow and pain, and you cannot free the mind from sorrow by disciplining it not to be insufficient. That you cannot discipline yourself or be influenced by conditions and environment in order not to be shallow. You say to yourself, I am shallow. I recognize the fact, and how I am going to get rid of it. I say, do not seek to get rid of it, which is merely the process of substitution. What become conscious, become aware of what is causing this insufficiency. You cannot compel it, you cannot force it. It cannot be influenced by the ideal, by the fear, or by the pursuit of enjoyment and powers. You can find out the cause of insufficiency only through awareness, that is, by looking into environment and piercing into its significance, that there will be revealed the cunning subtleties of self-protection. After all, self-protection is the result of insufficiency, and as the mind has been trained, caught up in the bondage for centuries, you cannot discipline it. You cannot overcome it. If you do, you lose the significance of the deceits and subtleties of thought and emotion behind which mind has taken shelter. And to discover these subtleties, you must become conscious aware. Now, to be aware is not to alter. Our mind is accustomed to alteration, which is mere modification, adjustment, becoming disciplined to a condition. Whereas if you are aware, you will discover the full significance of the environment. Therefore, there is no modification, but entire freedom from that environment. Only when all these walls of protection are destroyed in the flame of awareness, in which there is no modification or alteration or adjustment, but complete understanding of the significance of the environment with all its delicacies and subtleties, only through that understanding is there the eternal, because in that there is no you functioning as a self-protective focus. But as long as that self-protecting focus, which you call the I, exists, there must be confusion, there must be disturbance, disharmony and conflict. You cannot destroy the hindrances by disciplining yourself, or by following a system, or by imitating a pattern. You cannot understand them with all their complication only through full awareness of mind and heart. Then there is ecstasy. There is that living movement of truth which is not an end, but an ever creative living, an ecstasy which cannot be described, because all description must destroy it. So long as you are vulnerable to truth, there is no ecstasy, there is no immortality.